Welcome to this dope episode of the Vibe Check.
Everything that we're talking about today was inspired by a recent positive doping test from a cyclocross racer
She never tested positive because it was an accident.
Well, she tested positive, but it wasn't her fault.
Right, yeah. So we're gonna rank our 5 to 10,000 favorite doping excuses of all time.
Because in our minds, Belgian pharmacist, it's not even in the top 20.
Not even good. It's not good.
Try harder.
Do better.
Move up.
Work together. My favorite of all time is definitely gotta be Audrey Vanderpool blaming his father's race pigeons that he ate the night before the test, that they were doping the race pigeons and he accidentally on purpose ingested them.
Pigeon pie.
That's a good one. That's creative.
My favorite of all time doesn't come from the sport of cycling, which is shocking. It comes from track.
Wait, other people dope?
Yeah, apparently.
No.
And just,
other sports?
Just cyclists. Don't worry about the NBA's doping policy. We won't get into that right now.
For anyone curious, Grant's doing 150 watts right now. That's why he's out of breath.
My favorite excuse of all time comes from track and field. The sprinter tested positive for testosterone, who said, well, it wasn't my fault. I had 5 beers the night before and sex with my wife at least 4 times. And I quote, it was her birthday. The lady deserves something special. That's a good excuse.
There's multiple occasions of people blaming drinking too much whiskey the night before on their synthetic testosterone, which makes a lot of sense because like all the whiskey I drink, I buy the low shelf stuff, so there's no synthetic testosterone in it because I care about my body. But when you start spending money on nice whiskey, whew, synthetic testosterone is the main ingredient. I don't know if you know much about alcohol, but they ferment synthetic testosterone and that's how you get whiskey.
So another one of my favorites, Max can't relate. Those of us who are married, we know we'll do anything for our wives. The Chelsea goalkeeper who tested positive for cocaine said he was trying to teach his wife a lesson. He was doing too much coke. So he said for every line of coke she does, he'll do 2. And that's why he tested positive.
He's just trying to be helpful.
That's a good husband.
Yeah. Another super good one is that this guy ate his twin in the womb, and that's why he has 2 kinds of blood in his system. It makes sense if you think about it, because the other blood that was found has no relation to his, but it's because it makes sense if you don't think about it. If only he had a triplet, imagine how fast he would be.
So, as Max noted, I'm doing 150 watts and I'm out of breath. I need a motor, but not as badly as the person who apparently had a motor in their bike at Zolder World Championships. But the excuse was perfect. I mean, who could blame her? She sold the bike to a family friend. The bike from that year, the family friend decided to use the motor to get to Zolder, parked the bike outside her team tent. Her mechanic mistook his bike for her bike and brought it to the pits. I wasn't gonna use that bike. That's my friend's bike with the motor in it. You know, that's basic, but it works. What we're basically saying here is, if you're gonna dope, make sure you got a good excuse lined up beforehand.
Yeah, we're not vibing on all these lame stories. Like, they're not believable.
I mean, come up with something good. I got cocaine from my dentist.
Yeah, penis enlargements. Like, you know,
something that's got some
believable.
substance.
Something believable.
I don't believe Belgian pharmacists. No. That's just not good enough.
And it's like, I'm vibing on, like, when I get hurt, when I crash or something, I have a little injury. And people are like, Max, how'd you hurt yourself? Do I say, oh, I was dumb and I fell over on my bike at the Belgian pharmacist's office? No. I say, Grant, I was protecting your grandma from that grizzly bear attack.
Or
vicious, something believable.
I was riding around the corner, and on the corner, my dentist had spilled cocaine.
Yeah.
And it slipped on the cocaine and I fell down. It's not believable, Denise. Do better.